Hi, I'm Tom. This is Lucy, and this is Kitty Help Desk. So today I want to continue on my series about quackery in animal fields, and I want to talk a little bit about this idea of animal whisperers. You know, something that started, there was a book about a horse whisperer, and then there was a TV series that Cesar Millan, who, let me just be clear, you should not listen to, you should not take dog behavior modification advice from Cesar Millan, because he does not really understand what he's doing. I'm just saying. But he had a show that was fairly popular on Nat Geo called The Dog Whisperer. I'm sure there's someone who's calling themselves the Cat Whisperer now. And in fact, I see, the Google searches that lead my clients to me, and occasionally someone will search for that on Google. And I think it's really important to understand that there really is no such thing as anyone that has this special connection to animals, like a mental sort of psychic connection to them. That really, if someone claims to you that they can understand what your pet is trying to say, or what they're thinking, or how they're feeling deep down, then I would question the validity of that person's goals. Obviously, I think their number one goal would be separating you from your hard-earned cash. I think it's important to understand that there's no such thing as psychics, that even human-to-human psychics, where you've got another person who can validate whether they were thinking something or not, even that has failed. But with cats, you're on a different level where it's much easier to fool people, because the cat can't tell you whether you were right or wrong. I can say, "Oh, Lucy, I see you're thinking you wish your owner would give you more treats. Oh, look, is that really what you were thinking? Here." "Yes, oh my goodness, that's what she was really thinking. I gave her a treat and she wanted it." It's all kind of BS. So it's important to understand that while when you see that in sort of an extravagant expression like that, like "I'm a psychic," that it's really easy to see the bogus claim there. But when you see that these people, some of them are presenting themselves as behaviorists, some of them are presenting themselves as cat communicators, like they're saying that they can understand because they've been around cats more. Maybe they're not claiming a psychic connection, but they're claiming that they can read your cat better than you can. And I'm here to tell you that's just probably not true. Like, I have a lot of experience with cats, and I can watch a video. Like, I had a client just recently sent me a video of her two cats. The cats don't get along. And, she sent me the video, and in the video I could see that there was a lot of stress between the cats. And I could point out to her, you see, when the cat stretches, this is a real sign of anxiety and of stress. Like, it's sort of like when the example I used is, if you're sitting quietly, maybe you're reading, and someone next to you just keeps talking and talking and talking, and how you might fidget a little bit, or you might, you don't really want to bark at this person, tell them to shut up, but at the same time, you'd like to send them this message that their communication is not welcome. And so you might, you just do something. There's a scene in the movie Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where they're on the plane, and Steve Martin really doesn't want John Candy to talk to him, and he's doing that. He's like going, ugh, ugh, the whole time John Candy's talking, trying to send him this nonverbal message. So cats send these nonverbal messages all the time, and anyone can really learn to pick up on those. Now, beyond that, you personally, you have more knowledge about your cat than anyone else on earth, really, because you're around them a lot, and they're going to develop sort of personal modes of communication, kind of physical, kind of vocal, some eye contact kinds of communications that you're going to establish between just the two of you that no one else is ever really going to understand. And I don't care how much experience I have with the cat. I may not understand those things, and you may. So I think it's important anytime someone wants to put themselves on a higher level than you know, in regards to your pet. I think that's a sign to kind of run the other way. Because, you know, one of the first things I tell all of my clients is, you know your pets better than I ever will. And I'm going to try to give you general information and try to narrow it down to more specific information for your pet. But it's really going to be up to you to sort of filter that through the lens of, how does my cat react to that? And what signs do I see in my cat? And then as we move through this process of trying to change the cat's behavior, then what do I see? What feedback is the cat giving me? And these are all things, at that point, I'm no longer in the picture where my client is working with their own cat, and they need to trust their own instincts and not feel like they need to go to some reference source in order to find out what their cat is feeling or how this is progressing. I think it's really important that you trust your instincts. Now, that doesn't mean that you should think of your cat as a human being, you know, because that's kind of a thing a lot of people do. They will project onto the cat emotions and thoughts that the cat is really not capable of having. But that doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means that, you know, you're probably reading something along those lines. You're just sort of projecting it a little further down the track than the cat's really capable of. But it still means that you understand better what your cat is feeling probably than I do in some of those cases. And in a lot of cases, what I'll try to do is just try to educate my clients on what to look for. One of the big things that people seldom look for when they're looking at anxiety and stress is lip licking. A cat who's licking their lips, it's a very subtle thing, because they will lick their lips when they're eating, right? They'll lick their lips after they've eaten or when they're grooming. But if you approach your cat and they were just sitting there and they lick their lips as you approach, then your approach has stressed them out in some way and they're trying to sort of manage it, right? So that's lip licking is one of those very subtle signs of low levels of stress, you know, that can build to other things. And if you can catch that early on, you can help keep your cat from going over their anxiety threshold and having behavioral problems. You can start to see what things you do or don't do cause your pet to sort of start down that road towards stress. And you can, you know, curtail it early as opposed to sort of waiting for the behavior to erupt and then being like, I don't know where this just came out of nowhere. So I think it's important that you trust yourself and you trust your own instincts about what your pets are feeling. And if you want, you know, to further your knowledge of cats' body language in general, you know, I'm more than willing to help you to understand some of those things. But, you know, I'm not, you know, head and shoulders above you when it comes to your personal pets. You're definitely the expert, and I trust your insights on that. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.